Okay, thought I would do a quick how-to video for bonding. With all of the DAO forks that are coming out recently, there's a lot of hype around them, and obviously Olympus led the way. Unfortunately, at the moment, it seems that Olympus is in the middle of switching versions, so their bonds are turned off. But this should work with pretty much any fork of Olympus. Most of these rebase DAOs. So I'm going to use KLIMA as my example here. So generally you have two types of bonds. You're going to have LP bonds and then just straight across bonds. The straight across bonds are the easiest to do. As you can see, there's a 5%, a little bit more than the 5% discount on the BCT bond here for KLIMA. So if you wanted to purchase this bond, you go to Sushi Swap. You swap whatever it is that you're going to swap for. Maybe it's stable coins, and you're going to swap it for BCT. So you can go ahead and swap these, buy your BCT, come back over here. You can get your, you just click it. It'll ask you to put in how much BCT you're going to be bonding with, and then it'll show you the max amount of KLIMA that you can buy, the vesting term, the discount that you're getting, all that good stuff. And you can also go in here and make sure your slippage tolerance isn't crazy. You could even probably do less than this. You could probably do like 0.5, maybe 1% would be fine too. That's it. These are the easy ones. You just hit approve. Once that approved transaction goes through, you're going to submit the actual transaction and the bond will start. And then you have a 5-day vesting term. So at the end of 5 days, you'll be able to claim all of the KLIMA that you earned through this bond. Now, the harder bond is going to be these LP tokens. So if you haven't provided liquidity before on one of these dexes, whether it's Sushi Swap or Uniswap or what have you, they all work pretty much the same. So for this example, I'm just going to keep doing this. We'll use BCT and USDC. We'll do this one since the percent's a little bit higher. I'm not actually going to do it, but just for the sake. So you're going to need to produce LP tokens to be able to use this bond. And the way that you get LP tokens, it stands for liquidity provider. And the way you do that is you're just going to go ahead and buy them. So on Sushi Swap, it's this liquidity button right here. That's what's this is where you want to be. So we're going to buy BCT to USDC. So you're going to need an equal amount of each coin. So if you're going to buy $50,000 worth of these bonds, you're going to want $25,000 in USDC and $25,000 in BCT. Only when you have an equal dollar value amount of each of these is it going to allow you to produce the LP tokens. Now, once you've produced, it'll be the same protocol. You're going to hit approve transaction. That one goes through. You're going to submit the actual transaction, and it'll give you an LP token. The LP token is probably going to be, a decimal place. It's going to seem like a small amount. It might even look like dust, depending on how much you're bonding with. But it represents your percent of the pool that you're providing liquidity for. So it's irrelevant what that number is because it's weighted and it's relative. So once you get those LP tokens, then you come back here and you can do the same couple steps as we did for the more simple straight across one. But that's how you provide liquidity and then use those LP tokens to buy a bond. And yeah, I have Rome open too because I like Rome, but I recently did this Rome Frax LP. The ROI was good. I've seen it. I mean, it depends on which protocol you're looking at and how new it is, but especially if you catch one of these protocols at launch, sometimes these bond discounts can be really hefty. And depending on what kind of size you're working with, if you can catch one at a 10% discount and you can see that the price is dipping, well, might be a good time to bond because you're going to take advantage of the dip that it's in, as well as that extra added discount from the bond. Risks here is that, the bond discount might not outweigh or outperform, I should say, outperform the rebases. So depending on what the protocol is, what their rebasing is like, what kind of APY they have, it may be more profitable to just buy and stake it. So keep that in mind. And Rome, for example, they're gamifying this DAO rebase model, and you get rewarded with an NFT at the end of the campaign for bonding. So a little added incentive to bond, even if it might be a little bit more profitable to just go ahead and stake. But that's pretty much it. It's a simple strategy, and you just read all of the fine print. Every project, every protocol is going to have a different vesting period. So 4 days here for Rome, and just keep your eye on these. You never want to buy a negative %1. That's really important to know. You're going to be paying a premium for this bond, so it's overbought. Ignore the ones that are a negative %. What you're looking for are the ones that have just a positive percentage. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to message me on Twitter or comment in this video, and I'll respond to everybody that I can. Thank you.